Hi, my name is Mary Alice Kirchdorfer, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am an energy healer and metaphysician for nearly 3 decades, and I help people align their whole lives in every way, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, by using different techniques and technologies that I have found helpful on my own self-healing and soul healing journey. So today, what I'd like to talk to you about is a big topic, a big subject, and that is forgiveness. Now, forgiveness, if you look at the word, it's forgiveness, right? So it's for literally being forgiving to us. Okay, so when we are able to move into a space where we're deciding to quit hurting about something, to quit holding a resentment about something, to quit being eaten up about something, we're going to gain a lot more life force energy back. So it's really important to understand that when we are forgiving, it is forgiving to ourselves. We're not condoning someone else's behavior, but we can really look at it from many angles where it's actually giving us soul growth and helping us to become a more amazing person. So one of the things that I do with people is a ritual where someone has to decide that they want to quit hurting because of what someone else has done. You know, and that's called a resentment. And we know that resentments will eat us up, and they cause physical illnesses like the big C. And generally, if somebody does have cancer, we got to really look at where they need to forgive. But in the exercise that I do with people, I ask them to find the person that they really need to, look at that has caused them pain. Usually there's someone who has either betrayed them or abandoned them or made them feel not good enough. These are the 3 universal fears, and those will do it every time. But we have to learn how to move in an expeditious way to stop hurting and making a decision to stop hurting. So we imagine that this person is in front of us, and then we need to really express all the things that this person has said and done that has hurt us. Now, you could do it in person, but I would suggest that you do it in a visualization. This is a visualization energy exercise where you see that person in front of you and you say to them, "It hurt me that you did," and you fill it in. Or, "It betrayed me that you did," or "You abandoned me when you," or "You made me feel not good enough when you," and whatever they did or said, and get it all out. We want it to be expressed from the body. The body will hold and record all these things with those charges and with those attitudes, and they're not really healthy. If they're toxic thoughts, they're going to become toxic things in the body. So we need to express it, get it out, and then the next thing, so that's an emotional discharge, right? So we want to definitely emotionally discharge, go for it as intensely and dramatically that you can. Get it all out. And when I'm working with somebody, I just keep pressing, okay, and what else, and what else, and what else, until it seems like it's pretty much discharged. And then the next part is moving into like the mental part of this exercise. And we would say to the person, "I would have preferred that you would have," and we fill in the blank. So I would have preferred that you had said this, or I would have preferred that you had done this. And again, we go into every single thing that we would have preferred that that person would have done or would do. Okay, so we go through every single item and be real thorough. And then the next thing is, we have to realize, see, these are things that are the setup, right? Is because we have expectations or preferences that someone would be a certain way. So we have to cancel that. because that's the setup to get hurt again, or to have a projection onto somebody that they be somebody that they're not. Okay, and we have to accept that if we really want to see reality as it is. And that's the key to happiness, right? And so we want to give ourselves happiness. So the next thing that we say after we let all those preferences out is, but you don't do what I prefer, or you didn't do what I prefer. So I cancel my expectations that you could do what I prefer. I cancel the demand that you be any certain way. I give you total responsibility for your actions and deeds. So we're literally just giving back that energy that we've taken on and letting that person have that energy and say, I release you to your highest good. And then we have to accept responsibility for our reactions. So then we say, and I accept total responsibility for my reactions to your actions and deeds. And really mean it when you say it. I accept total responsibility for my reactions to your actions and deeds. And I release myself to my highest good. And then what we do is we elevate into the spiritual level, and we reconnect to the higher self. The higher self is the part of a person, of us, that knows all and sees all and records all and is very intricately connected to the divine. So we just elevate into that level of consciousness, the spiritual self, the higher self, and we feel the love and the compassion and the light of the higher self. And we invite that love and that light and that compassion to come down, and I usually say come into the crown chakra, into the top of the head. Let it fill the brain and let it start shifting the way that we've been thinking and feeling, and let it fill all the brain cells, let it fill the whole head. And then I just lead people into bringing that love and that light and that compassion down into the throat, you know, all the chakras, the heart center, the lungs, down the brainstem, down the spine, into the solar plexus, into the belly, into the lower back, into the pelvic area. The reproductive organs are really good to clean. And down into the tailbone, and then down the legs, all the way down to the tips of the toes. And then I ask them to really connect that love and that light and that compassion to the earth, and feel the support of the earth, the sustenance, the stability and the strength of the earth, and bring that back up and integrate it with the love and the light and the compassion of the high self. So we have the earth energy of support, sustenance, stability, and strength, integrating with the love and the light and the compassion of the higher self. And once we're integrated, we expand that into our cocoon, our bubble, our personal space, and get really full and healed, right? And from that place, we bring that person back into the field of vision, and we look at them from that perspective, and we drop down into the heart. And a lot of times, if we can't move into an unconditionally loving place, what I ask is that we look at what was the motive. What was that person acting out of? Usually they're acting either out of fear, out of pain, out of low self-esteem. You know, those are usually those things that trigger people to behave in ways where they betray, abandon, make other people feel not good enough, those kind of things. So it's the playing out of these energies. And so if we can drop into the heart and see that they were acting out of pain, and feel that understanding in the heart, and then just let a shaft of light come out of the heart and send that shaft of light to that person. I understand you were acting out of pain. And if I feel that we can go into that place, is I send out my unconditional love to you just the way you were and just the way you are. That's a stretch sometimes. We might not be able to get there at the first shot, but we can try. and go for it if we need to. And that love and that unconditional the understanding is sent to that person, embracing them, surrounding them with that light, and then say, I release myself to my highest good, and I release you to your highest good. And we swing back and forth in releasing each of these entities, ourselves and that other being, or maybe several beings, to their highest good. And usually I say, if there is something that resonates, we send that other person to a place where they can evolve and grow and do their work. And not that we're projecting that onto anyone, but we're just kind of seeing them float off in a little bubble and going off to their highest good. We'll leave it at that. And then the last thing that I do is I ask that we do some clearing statements so that we're not left with the option of going back and condemning that person. So the clearing statements are, I release all belief, perception, and judgment that there is any need to condemn you. I release all need and desire to believe that there is any need to condemn you. I now completely accept and believe and instruct my subconscious to accept and believe on every level of my being that you and I are released to our highest good. And so it is. And this is a nice ritual. I also sometimes will go into how these difficulties have made us a stronger person, a more resilient person, and we acknowledge that too. So this is something that you can try, start to approach it. I have a couple other techniques, but I'll leave this video at this length right now. But I hope that you find this useful. Forgiveness is forgiving to ourselves. So give it a shot, maybe make a list and figure out where you're holding energy, and then make a decision to set it free. You'll feel better. So thank you so much for watching. Have a peaceful and prosperous day.